Yes, people. Welcome back to another panel show, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to. Derby Day delight. Derby Day delight for Manchester City. 3-1 over Manchester United. I hope you all did enjoy another Derby Day win. That's 2 over them, the double over Manchester United this season. For me, it almost feels like a trophy. It's not quite the same feeling as a trophy, but I just love that feeling of beating them. So listen, we're going to get into it all. We got Joe, big up Joe, Martin, and Mulv as well joining us to talk about it all. Before we get into it, make sure you all hit that big like button. It massively helps more people find the channel. And of course, do show love to Mulv and Noisy Bud Martin at the Mancunian Way and Joe over on HMTV. Lads, a really great weekend. A really great weekend. They had us in the first half, Mulv, I think. They had us a bit worried in the first half, but it worked out well in the end.
Yeah, for sure, mate. You're right. Not much better than beating them twice in a season, is there? Just the feeling just grows and grows and continues throughout the week. To see them crying on social media, just lap it up. It's great. They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's always worrying in a derby, right? Because you're on tilt as a City fan. Even though the game was, we were dominating the game early on, and it looked like you can tell within a few minutes of watching City whether they're on it or not, right? And everything looked like we were on it. The intensity was good, the passing was good, chemistry looked fine, and then we got struck by a wonder goal from Rashford. That type of goal is a little bit worrying, but in the main, I think we learned from it on the day and limited them to almost nothing after that. We kept attacking, and we finally got what we deserved, and we got an announcement from Phil Foden that he's now probably the talisman in this squad, and beat him comfortably in the end. In the cold light of day after the fact, you look at the statistics. We battered them, and chuffed with that.
Absolutely, Martin. Were you concerned when that Rashford goal went in? Were you thinking it might be just one of those days? Because I don't know about you, but for me, it felt we were a bit off. We're crossing aimlessly. Onana's making saves. He's catching everything. It felt a little bit like, I don't know, man. Could it be one of those days where they get something that they don't deserve?
For me, no. I honestly didn't think we played bad first half. Thought we were amazing. Thought that's the quickest we've started the game in a long time. I mean, Mo's spot on. You can tell within the first minute how City are going to play. Went straight back to Edison, bang, straight into the attack. And honestly, what's that Phil Foden chance? I think was it Delo who put it away for a corner? That could have been going in top bins. And we could have been ahead in like 48 seconds. We came out with a swagger, with a real weird avenue today. And listen, I don't mind the Rashford goal so much, because when you get a goal conceded like that, sometimes you just hold your hands up and you go, that's just a worlder. Yeah, you could have said, Diaz playing offside or whatever, or actor. Could he have got the ball? Possibly, maybe Bruno shouldn't have had the space he had. But that was just a worldie from Rashford. And then he exited stage left and didn't come back in the game after that. I don't know did he go off the pitch? Did him and Bruno just go off holding hands? You didn't see him again. Honestly, it was blue wave after blue wave. That Rodri chance, Haaland. I don't know what he's doing. Honestly, I honestly think, and statistics, I hate stats. I know I hate stats, but I'm going about them. We had more chances in the first half than we did second. We had 18 chances in that first half. It was a blue wave from minute one, and they didn't know what to do. So, I honestly, I did feel like at half time I'd watched a different game with some other people. I was like, have I watched a different game? I don't know. Maybe it's because that was at my end. Maybe I saw it different. I don't know.
See, I know what you're saying, and I fully get it. And with hindsight, and you look back on it, and you see the stats, and the result is sealed, and you really assess the game in your head. You go, yeah, we did, we battered them. I don't know. Maybe it's just me with the emotion of playing them, and little things don't go your way when you want them to go your way as fast as they do. You know, like the Rodri shot near the half. I know Nana gets down and makes a really great save. To be fair,
that
to
was
him.
what a save that was,
Yeah.
and it annoyed me because sorry, I'm interrupting you there. And Nana was world class first half, bag of shit second half. I don't know. It was like different keeper came out. So I don't know.
I just think it's the emotion of that fixture, like
because it wasn't
kind
at
of
your
side by
end
side.
for a change. You didn't get him down it. You got him at your end.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
all
like,
South
I
stand,
don't know.
wasn't it?
Do you guys think there's any psychology to shooting at the south stand for the second half? I see a lot of people talking about that on Twitter.
Need to do it more. I think.
Yeah.
I think we need to do it more. I mean, maybe it's just because of the occasions that we're doing it. Like the Villa, obviously the derby. We did it again at another point in the season. I can't remember exactly which game, but we attacked the south stand, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like in the second half, because sometimes, you know, in seasons gone by, you look at us starting slow in the first half and then turning it around in the second half. How many times this season have we been 1-0 down as well, by the way? Like, that's happened a lot. Imagine home game, you're 1-0 down, you're attacking the south stand, you know, to try and chase the game. Like, I think there could be a little bit of a difference. I don't know whether it's, like I said, it's the occasion of just the games that we're choosing to do it, but I'm all for it.
Just remind me how it's decided again.
It's a coin toss, isn't it?
Coin toss.
It's a coin toss.
Did we win or lose
choose.
then? Does anyone actually know? Did we lose or win the coin toss?
No, we lost it. So originally we were shooting into the south stand for the first half, and Ten Hag told whoever Bruno that if you win the coin toss, regardless of what way they're shooting, switch it around as like a psychological win. So Bruno thought he was getting a psychological win over us by saying, "Nah, shoot into the south stand second half. Yeah, do family stand first half."
But the opposite argument is, and I think I read something not too long ago about when Company was captain, he used to always, you know, shoot south stand first because, and I believe I read this, that it was in his mind, he didn't want the second half for the away team to be shooting towards to be going towards their fans, like their goal being on that end. So maybe that's another psychological thing where maybe if you do shoot into the south stand in the second half, you know, that's where the away fans are. Maybe, you know, there's arguments both sides. I don't really mind.
I thought we'd always done it the other way around normally. Because I would always like to think it's a bit of a pro to go to the south stand second half.
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? Because it's the noisiest bit.
Yeah. Well, hang go. Whoa, right now. Stop right now. I'll start doing family stand slander.
Are you in family stand, Martin? Is that where you be?
Yeah, I am moving. I'm trying to move, but it's trying to get 3 tickets together in South Stand Lower or in 111. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, that's a tough task. Well, I don't know. Look, like maybe there is, maybe there isn't psychology to it, but a lot of people I've seen on Twitter saying, I know Amos from City Report was saying that he thinks we sucked the ball into the net in the second half, the fans behind the goal, and it worked in our favor. But either way, we'll talk more in the second half because it really was a fantastic performance. But before we do, I do want to touch in on United and I suppose the way they turned up. I don't know about you guys, but all week, I don't know how many of you, how often you guys interact with United fans. I don't know how much of a limit you like to put onto it, but all week beforehand, unfortunately, I was subjected to plenty of them telling me how much of a big club they are, and they were giving a jest and this, that, the other. I've never seen a big club, a quote unquote big club, come out to a game, a derby, and put 11 men behind the ball or put 10 men on the edge of the box like that. Like we've seen Brentfords and Palaces and Southamptons come to the Etihad and play with more venom and chest than Manchester United. Were any of you? Did that resonate with any of you?
Yeah, it's a disgrace, honestly. You know, the big club. You know, they talk about being the biggest club in the world and that, and we've certainly spent money on that thing, £1 billion in that team. You know, I know some of them had injuries in that, but still, you'd think you'd be able to put out a team that looks like a Premiership side and not, you know, it looked like they were maybe. You'd be okay confusing them with like a lower league side the way they were playing. Like it was an FA Cup tie against a lower league side, or
Definitely.
Carabao or whatever. It's just disgraceful. I don't know how their fans put up with that, to be honest with you. I mean, they've been doing it near on a decade, though. I mean, there was a little bit of fight left in them when Moisey took over, right? Because they were still in that the peak of their arrogance, right? And their fan base expected the tradition, that the Ferguson attack tradition to carry on with Moyes. So they were a little bit naive in continuing to try to play us that way. And he inevitably got battered by us in the year that he was there. After that, they just seemed to get more and more defensive whenever they would come to visit. Mourinho, Van Gaal, Ole played us on the counter-attack, and now Ten Hag's doing it too. So it's been nigh on a decade that they've been coming playing like cowards at the Etihad, and it's a disgrace for a club that's supposedly, a big club, and have spent massive amounts of money, more than Man City. So
I just don't know how
strange.
they can try and use the fact that they're now in their head, quote unquote, shit as an excuse for playing with no pride. Like for people like you, Martin and Mulvin, and even myself, I remember towards the latter stages of us being shit just before the takeover, even when we were significantly worse, they had Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo than we are now. We still went to Old Trafford and played them at home with pride. We play with pride. We always had fight. We knew we were the underdog. We knew we were on paper worse than them, but we'd always go into the derby with our chest out, and we'd go for it. You know what I mean? The way you'd want. If I'm a United fan and that away end on Sunday, I'm going, what the hell? What is this? I saw no pride. They couldn't believe when they're 1-0 up. They were like, this is just wow.
You just said it. Even when we were absolute dog, you know what, we still went and gave it a go. We still went and tried. I remember being at the FA Cup game in 1996 or 95, whenever it was, when Ube scored. And we had, the bag of crap we had then with kids, no disrespect, but Kit Simons at the back and Mr. Wilkes giving them phony penalties. And we still had a go. We beat them with Gerard Vikings and Lucien Matomo at the back. This narrative of all of a sudden of they're no longer a world-class team and they're not that good anymore, it's just an excuse for them to get out of getting hammered again, getting humbled again, because they don't know how to react. And it's not just United. I'm seeing it throughout the football world now. City are now looked upon in a very different light to every other team in world football. We are looked upon, and then if you say anything, you're salty, you're bitter, you're embarrassing, and it's just, get over yourselves. All it is a protected bubble, because they don't want to see what's in front of them. Is that Manchester is blue. It has always been blue. It will never be red. Go back to London. Go back to wherever you're going to be hiding. Get back under your rock. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and put the History Channel on. Whatever you want to do to make you feel better. Go and count your Champions Leagues. Go and count your league titles. Whatever you want to do. Because that's what you are. You are history. Goodbye. See you later. You're now the people you're the teachers who put the kids to sleep at the back of the classroom. Big Brother's taken over. Enjoy it. Just, I don't know, for them. I'm telling you, most rival fans this season. I'm sick to death of it. Liverpool are this. Arsenal are the greatest team that ever walked. Sorry, last time I checked, they were third in the league. Back in your box. Unless you say Arsenal are the greatest in the world, or unless you say Liverpool are the greatest in the world, and unless you say United are the greatest in the world, you're disrespecting them. There's only one greatest in the world, factually, right now. Us. Deal with it.
I rate that. Right.
I've been wound up by a lot of rivals today.
I don't disagree with anything. I don't disagree with anything. Yeah, man, I love it. I love it. I love it. A couple of super chats here. LB1998 says, most rival fans saying we don't have a chance at Anfield. Mons puts so much disrespect on us saying the stuff he says, people saying we've been really bad. We actually will touch a bit on Anfield in this show because I'm not sure we'll get a chance to speak again before that game. And it's obviously, at this point, the biggest game of the season. So we will get into Anfield. Don't worry, LB1998. And Second City saying, why does Haaland disappear in big games finals? Worried for Sunday. That's a really tough question. I don't think he disappears, Haaland. Look, when you think about it, the way Manchester United set up on Sunday, it did make it very hard for Erling Haaland. 10 men essentially in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. He's not got much room. But with that said, it doesn't really excuse that miss. The one we all know, the one where Foden put it across. He still got his goal. Like elite players, this is the thing. Second City saying elite players, and not many have the capacity to do this, will have mishaps like that. It's normal. Unfortunately, strikers, it's the name of the game. You're not going to just bang absolutely every single one. There's going to be blips and blunders where you're going, geez, what the hell's happened there? They're able to put it out of their mind and move on. And he still was able to put it out of his mind and move on and take that chance and somewhat redeem himself in injury time. What did you guys think, Joe? What did you think of Haaland on the weekend? I see a lot of people talking about him. People take every opportunity, in my opinion, to jump at Haaland. He misses something like that, they'll talk about that more than they'll talk about the fact he's the top scorer in the league and he scored 5 against Luton.
Well, it's like it's weird because I follow the XG philosophy and of course I'm always interested. I don't really like stats like that, but I'm always interested in the one that he put out is, of course, Haaland is top scorer in the league, but he's the highest underperforming XG player in the league as well also. So it's like there's both sides to it. He's missing sitters, but he's also still bagging. Because he's still there. He's won us 6 points this season. You go back to Brentford, he scored. You go back to Everton, he scored 2-0. He scored twice. He's still winning us games. The miss was inexcusable. You can't make an excuse for that. He should be putting that in the back of the net. But he still scored. He still scored in that game. I don't get the criticism. And the whole disappearing in big games finals is, I think it's laughable. He scored against Arsenal home and away last season. And they were the only team in the title race with us. I find it laughable to suggest that he disappears.
As you put in the chat there, Martin, 80 goals in 84 games.
Put it for everyone to read.
Oh, we might as well. May as well. I don't get it. He's the only one I know that gets that much attention for a bad miss. He's not the first striker in history to miss something he should have scored. It's not new. When you play as much football, 2-3 games a week, as players like ours do, there are going to be ones where he should score, and he'll know himself when he left that game he should have scored that goal.
People forget how he's still only young. He's 23, 24. He's not even at the peak of his powers yet.
Bet on him not to score then.
Adam?
Bet on him not to score then. I dare you.
No one will do that.
Take him out your fantasy team.
Put your money where your mouth is. Bet on him not to score.
Yeah, take him out your fantasy team. That's a good one.
Do you think anyone will do that? Do you think anyone has actually ever taken him out of the fantasy team going, he's not scoring?
No, because you can't risk it. You can't risk it. Because you know
he gets that trick.
Yeah, you know, throughout the season, he's going to have a few misses like that, as will everybody. But there's also every possibility he goes and hits someone for 5 or 6. No one else has that capability. There's no other striker you look at and say they could score 5 today. Haaland could score 5 today. Any day.
Has Erling Haaland been the same Erling Haaland as last season? No. But people get last season was an absolute phenomenal, weird. No one did what Haaland did last season.
Yeah, perfect storm.
But the trouble was, that then put expectations. So, he scored 50-odd goals last season. So now we expect 50-odd goals every season. And it's like, that's never going to happen. He's had injuries for 2 months. He lost his grandma. The guy's been through a very difficult time in his career. And he comes back. Look at the press conference today. Did that look like a man with no confidence? Did that look like a man who was like, yeah, I'm just not going to do anything? He missed from 1 yard out. 100% should have scored. What did he do in the 93rd minute? Put the ball in the back of the onion bag. See you later, and did the Poznan. You know what I mean? I don't know what people want. 5 a game.
I said at the start of the season, it might have been on a panel show, might have not, I don't know. But when everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna win this, that, the other again," because Haaland, and as if like he's gonna level up past 52 goals, as if like that's he's got 52, so this season naturally he should get 72. That's the expectation.
And then
And
100 years.
I was kind of like, look, as the years go on, we're going to look back on that treble season and go, everything about it was abnormal. The Haaland scoring rate, the trophy rate, the performances, the lack of goals conceded in the second half of the season, the formation, the tactics, the system, the beginning of Stones into midfield and things we'd never seen before. And it worked out perfectly. Do not expect that to be replicated. You cannot just suddenly raise that to your demands and make that's now your demand that this is what you get. Haaland, in my opinion, will finish this season top scorer. That's still an unbelievable. That's not an underrated achievement. You can't downplay that achievement just because he didn't get 50 or 72 or match. Like basically, last season was not fucking normal. That was absolutely mental stuff. And to put that expectation on him again as a City fan, I think is totally unfair. You're putting mad pressure on a guy to do something that's just absolutely mental. And the fact of the matter is, look, he was out for 2 months, wasn't he? He was out for 2 months and is still top scorer in the league. Lost his grandmother not long after being out for 2 months. Got one or two Premier League recently. Then got his 5 against Luton. Scored in the derby. By all things considered, he's actually doing quite well, isn't he? It's just because Haaland is Haaland, you expect him to do slightly more. Professional idiot. That ball Haaland missed hit my nan's head all the way here in California. Man's is doing Norwegian Andy Carroll things, needs an update. Well, look, as Mo said, bet against them. As Joe said, take him out of your fantasy team. You won't. We've got Liverpool on Sunday, and you'd be damn sure Haaland will be in the team, and you'd be damn sure Haaland will be well up for it. Professionally,
more space for him. More space against Liverpool, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They will. Liverpool will play. Liverpool will play their front-footed football. They won't sit back and play 10 on the edge of the box. So you think Haaland will be primed and ready to capitalize on that. Big up Cool Guy 80 here. He says, big up the panel. Look forward to the docu on Netflix. If I'm not mistaken, isn't MCFC the first Premier League team to feature on Netflix? Is that fact? Does anybody know? Has anybody else had it?
I've only skimmed through Netflix, but I haven't seen anyone else.
Normally
Premier League team.
I think we have. I think there was the Barcelona one that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
There's a lot of player stuff, not team stuff on Netflix.
Yeah.
Majority is player.
That Sunderland one was on what? But that I'm obviously not Premier League.
Sunderland was Netflix.
Welcome to Wrexham. Welcome to Wrexham was also
that was on the Disney Channel.
First Premier League team, yeah, I think. All the other Premier League stuff is on Amazon Prime. Like we had the documentary on Amazon Prime, Tottenham, Arsenal.
It's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it? You pay $4.99 to City TV, and then they take it off that and put it onto Netflix.
Yeah, it's,
that's what we pay $4.99 for here.
Hey,
Come on,
7 figures. You can't argue with 7 figures.
It'll be sustainable, Martin.
To answer your question, Cool Guy, we think so. Okay, moving on from Haaland, we have to have a conversation about Phil Foden. It would be just so wrong not to. I mean, this season he's taken it to a new level. He's held the responsibility of having to step up with the loss of Gundogan and Mahrez and injured players and playing different positions. He's withstood that pressure so well. And as Ferdinand said it, he's taken on the responsibility of being the main man when certain players are out. He's turning up in derby moments. Like, look, I never lost faith that we'd win on Sunday, even when we were 1-0 down. But my thought process in the South Stand was, we're going to need one little moment of magic just to ignite the fire, just to get the whole thing going. You know what I mean? We get to kind of Poznan sort of stage. And someone who gets it is Phil Foden. And it was one of those, the first goal, lads, was one of those magic moments in football where you didn't need to see it hit the back of the net to know it's a goal. As soon as it left his boot, the guy beside me goes, that's fucking going in. Fucking went in. I mean, he's just a sensational footballer who has trusted Pep Guardiola and the progression plan outlined for him for the last 4 or 5 years, and he's reaping the rewards now. And then to see him, hat-trick in the derby last year, took control of the derby this year, Mulv, it's special as Manchester City fans. Like, you always want one of your real own to be in the position he's in now, and we're experiencing it now. It's just poetic.
It does make it sweeter, doesn't it, that he's a local lad and all that. Now looking back, I'm pretty sure that's his best game in a blue shirt, mate. He was devastating wherever he was on the pitch, and he was moving back and forth. He scores a goal off the right wing. Both goals really reminded me of like two other massive number 8s for us. Number 8s by position. I thought the first goal was reminiscent of something Kevin De Bruyne would do. In that you need a big goal, you need that moment you were talking about, and you need a sweet strike maybe from outside, and that's what Kevin's done for us for many years. The second one stunk of David Silva, to be honest with you. Left side of the pitch, the 1-2 with Alvarez, finishes it with his left foot far post. It just reeked of David Silva. So he's channeling two absolute legends there, two of the best midfielders in football history. And he's only 23. Pep's managed him impeccably. For him to now come to the forefront as the likes of De Bruyne getting on a bit, Gundogan has moved on, David Silva's moved on. For him to now, take the reins of the team, he's played a blinder.
It's special to see. And you think of the amount of success he's already experienced at such a young age. I mean, I don't know how to think and how to judge how far he can go, Martin. He just is such a sensation. I look, people don't get on me for this now, because I know we have De Bruyne's and we know we have Rodri's. I think in terms of just technical gifted ability, just natural footballing ability, he might be the most naturally gifted footballer we have in the squad. He's like a street footballer, like those kids you see playing in the cage in the weekend, the way he'll carve out angles and passes and do mad tricks and flicks that you're kind of thinking he has the audacity to do that, first of all, but he also pulls it off. It's just glorious, really, is the only word.
I don't know what to say about Phil Foden anymore without, because the trouble is, I had it this morning. I Saka versus Foden debate again. I'm like, stop this debate. It's like you're comparing a right winger to a versatile guy across all positions. It's silly. The best way I can describe Phil Foden is, and I was talking to a mate of mine today, and it was the best way probably we summed it up perfectly, is Phil Foden was born with such natural talent. Some players are born with just God's given talent. And what Pep Guardiola has done has brought it out of him and has managed this lad perfectly, absolutely perfectly. And the reason why I don't buy into the Saka debate is because Saka's generally just the right winger. Phil Foden can play left wing, right wing, 8, 10, probably even false 9. And he doesn't moan, doesn't bitch. Yeah, he has a bit of in an interview, I'd like to play that. But he's so humble. He doesn't even class himself as being world class. Did an interview after the derby, and he was like, I don't ever see myself there. Because he's just doing something that is, to him, he's living our dream as a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Footballer. He's one of us that has just been given the God's given talent to play football. And he is, when you think to yourself, if we ever see a fan playing football, that to me is Phil Foden. He smiles, he enjoys it, he loves it. And I think not only this season, I think he's improved at tracking back, holding the ball up, playing the right ball at the right time. And not only that, he's taking on games by himself. And go back to, I think, was it the Newcastle game at home? The first one? He ran the show. And he's now just, to me, he'll never get the plaudits he deserves outside of Manchester, sir. He never will.
Why do you think that is?
Because he's in a blue shirt. And I've said this until because of what we've won and who we are and what's been said about us, we will never ever get any credit outside of Manchester City. That's why it is. It's just sheer because you see it on other things when you go on and all you get is 115 cheats, checkbook manager. It's like Pep. I want to see Pep go to Wrexham. Why? He's not going to go to Wrexham. Arteta's first job wasn't at Torquay United to build up his thing and come through the ranks. Arteta's first job was Arsenal. So it's just, I don't know why. It's just for some reason we're disliked. Fine. Phil Foden will get the praise that he deserves from the people that to him probably matter the most. His City fans and his family. And to Phil Foden, that's probably all he needs. David Silva never got it. KDB was a reject when he turned up. You can just go through them.
I made a video last week. I made a video last week saying Phil Foden is the best player in Europe right now. And I really do believe he is. And just right now, I'm not saying he's the best overall footballer in Europe because he's got a lot of great competition to compete with. I just mean based on form and how he's running games now. I think it's a valid opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but I think it's worthy of saying it's an opinion. And I think it's a great point you make, Martin, about how he doesn't moan, he doesn't have an ego, he doesn't, come out to the press like maybe Cancelo would when he wasn't getting the game time he felt he deserved. He really embodies like us. It's not in our nature to be like constantly bragging and saying this, that, the other, and we're the best and we're the biggest and we're the shiniest. We just get on with it. We just do our thing. Unless spoken to, obviously, you won't take the piss out of us, but we're not in your face. Phil Foden's not in your face. He really is Manchester City through and through. So as I say, Joe, it's just so special to see one of our own players. But I just want to touch in really quickly from an England perspective. Obviously, I'm not an Englishman myself, but England will be at the Euros this summer. How and will Gareth Southgate find a way to not or will pick Phil Foden? I don't know how he continue to ignore him.
Your guess is as good as mine with that guy, honestly. Like he has to find a way. He has to find a way to get him in the team. I'm sorry, it's too far now. Where he's had quotes in the past where, what was the one that he used most recently? Was it, Pep doesn't play him as a midfielder, so I can't put him there. Well, he does now. So what's your excuse now, Gareth? Like, he was at the game, he was at the derby. He was probably absolutely fuming when Rashford was taken off because he's one of his boys. Probably upset that Maguire wasn't playing because he's another one of his boys. Calvin Phillips has gone off, another one of his boys. And he had to watch Phil Foden run the show. He was probably fuming. Like, I don't understand how he can't play, but he'll find a way. I'm sure he'll find a way to not play him. The most obvious spot in the England setup is from the left. I think it's the only position when you look at a Southgate side that isn't decided. As for the rest of them, they're usually shoo-ins. You usually can pick his 11, but the player who plays off the left is usually different. Sometimes it's Rashford, sometimes it's Grealish. He's sort of been in and out with Sterling. Foden's played out there. So that's kind of what I'm expecting, because I don't think it'll go as far as he won't play him. And I think we're past that now. I know I like to take the piss, but I think we are past that stage now. But it still kind of disappoints me that he's going to be put out on the left when he's just playing so well in this free role. Like, I feel like it's a waste, personally. But like I expect nothing else.
I'm happy for the waste. You take a summer off, Phil. You don't need to go to Germany. You don't need to play in the Euros. You relax for the summer, mate. You deserve that. But now look, I'm absolutely buzzing for Phil Foden. And he's going to be a crucial cog in our machine, I believe, if we have any chance, if we want to win in Anfield this Sunday, which of course we do. I'm not going to overlook the Copenhagen game. We'll touch slightly on that for 5 minutes at the end, but I want to talk about Anfield now, right? Derby's out of the way. The first game in the almighty March fixture run is out of the way. We won it. We started off right, but now it doesn't get much tougher than this, Martin. Anfield away awaits. They're 1 point ahead of us in the league right now. Pep versus Klopp, the last dance, at least Premier League wise anyway. The stakes are very high, man. The stakes are very high.
Still think we'll win. I honestly think we'll win. And I'm quietly confident. I'm not chest out, here we go. It's going to be a really hard game. You've got to respect Liverpool, of course you do. But I don't think you're never going to get a better chance right now winning at Anfield. Yes, they'll have one or two players back, but they've got injuries. We're on a good run. And not only that, I think Pep summed it up perfectly. I think when you look at the way Arsenal, Liverpool, and City are going, no one's giving an inch right now. So I do think, I think it is a must-win game, and I think we'll win it. I think drawing will be all right. Losing it, don't like saying it, but I think we'll probably drop down to third favourites then. Because with 10 games to go, I don't see Liverpool losing 2 games. And then Arsenal, because at the moment it's 3 games, 3 teams. And are they going to drop, ahead of us enough points for us to catch up? Not saying it'll 100% be over, but I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking we go there and we'll do them. I'm one of them. I take a scrappy 1-0 right now. I don't care about the performance. Does not bother me performance-wise. So don't want to wait. Oh, we're not 5-0 up. Oh, no, we're not springing the ball around like we're going to give up chances. They will create the same way they know we will create. But I think we will win. I think we will win there. Because when the going gets tough, we get going. We are here. We are there in the big moments. And Pep knows every game is a final now. And I just think you'll hear it all. It's Klopp's last game versus Pep. You'll get all the fairy tale stuff beforehand and all the dreaming. And we'll go in and we'll turn it into a nightmare. And I can't wait.
It's I agree. I for one reason or another have this feeling we're going to win. I really do. I think this is the year that we break this Anfield curse, or at least a full Anfield curse. I don't know what it is about this team, as you say. I just have so much faith in them when it matters most that we'll deliver and we'll do what we need to do. We've never had to go to Anfield in a title race and win. We've always played at Anfield in the first half of the season, which may contribute to our poor record there, because we do typically in the first half of the season we're not quite our title running selves. Now we're in that kind of form, or we're growing into that kind of form where we know we have to turn it up and we have to go through the gears and we have to be in top gear in Anfield this Sunday. What do you think, Wolf, about this Sunday? It's kind of hard to preview, isn't it? Like what do you say other than I think we'll win, I think we'll lose? It's just I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I think what I'll say is I think we're a slightly better team than them. I don't think there's a massive gap right now. I don't think we're in top gear necessarily. I've watched them a little bit, and they're not particularly convincing. I'll be honest. They can definitely be got at. I'm glad that Trent's not playing. He's always really good against us. He is not playing, right? Have I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think we're slightly better than them. Confident we could go and get the 3 points. Don't care how. And at the risk of oversimplifying a football match, it could just be a case of whether we take our chances or not. And I fancy us with space in behind, particularly with Haaland. And yeah, I think we could absolutely beat them there. I don't think a draw is the end of the world. I wouldn't play for a draw, but a draw is probably okay. But I wonder if us beating them at their place might be mentally too difficult for them to recover from, because all the PTSD of a title race with Man City will creep back in, and we could go on to distance ourselves from them from that point if we win.
I think if we beat them on Sunday, it derails them totally. I really do. I think they capitulate if we beat them on Sunday, because For some reason, they have it in their head that when we come to Anfield, it's a guaranteed 3 points for them. I was chatting to a Liverpool friend of mine about an hour ago there, and he was like, the game will be won before a ball's kicked. You're coming to Anfield. You won't be able to cope with the bus smashings and the chat and the noise and all that rubbish. And I was like, mate, are you really going to disrespect this Manchester City team in a title running like that? I just think it's wild. So
Everyone's doing it.
Say again?
Everyone's doing it. Arsenal think they're coming to the Etihad to roll over us. I've never seen. I don't even think it's disrespect. I think it's, for some reason, Arsenal and Liverpool are not scared of us. I don't get it. And it's not even fearing us. They don't even respect us. I don't get it.
No, but do you know what it is, Martin? They'll say they're going to beat us, but they won't put themselves as favourites to win the fucking league. They won't put that pressure on themselves.
I don't get it. It does baffle me that we are treble winners, world champs, and apparently we're going to Anfield and getting rolled over. The greatest Arsenal team in the history of football is coming to roll us over in the Etihad, the week later or 2 weeks later. Like, but what are we? Are we some sort of like pub team? Are we dog and duck?
To be fair, Arsenal's done well against us lately. They've squeaked results out against us, so you can see them being a little bit more confident. They're obviously on a great run right now, putting 4s and 5s and 6s past teams. So they're on a bit of a high, so you can see them feeling good about themselves. Liverpool are probably bricking it, is my guess. I think maybe your mate's waffling you.
He is known for
he's a known waffler.
Not so much mate, it's more of a, maybe it's makes I'm starting to go on these other rival shows.
Right.
I'm starting to like, don't know whether they're trying to angst me or whether they're trying to, you know what I mean, Hugh, you're on the big six, you know what it gets like. And it's always like little sitter. They sort of pat you on the head like your little brother and you need to get back in your corner.
Keep patting us on the head. Keep doubting us. That's what Pep said in that press conference. I love it when people doubt us because we need those carrots. Yeah,
I'm not minded with it because I think, I honestly think we'll win both. I've said it all along. I think we'll win this league by 5 points or so. I really do, because I think we're starting to click. We're starting to create chances. We're playing with a bit more fluidity. We're starting to slowly. I think the only part of that 11 going into these big games we can question now is that left-hand side because of the Grealish injury. Other than that, I think we can generally pick 9 of the 11 that are really going to go in out, which tells me Pep's now starting to take this a lot more serious. I think it was Pep's comments, was it just before the derby? Playtime's over. Every game's a final now. And when Pep generally says that, that means, right, here we go. We're about to hit the serious time. But I don't know what it is. I do feel we're going to win at Anfield.
So do I, and I think if we win at Anfield, we'll win against Arsenal too. I think we'll just get into that role, that rhythm of running Manchester City, and a win at Anfield would be the best way to really kickstart that. I know the derby is a great kickstart, but a win at Anfield because it's a direct title rival would be huge. Joe Mohammed here says, unfortunately, we can't afford to lose at Anfield. Is that a statement you would agree with?
Yeah, we can't afford to lose. Because I think if we lose, we're staring down the barrel of... I mean, a draw makes it so that it's not in our hands anymore. Like, this is the last chance to make it so that, we're in charge of our own destiny. Because if we win, then it's all down to us. If anything less, then we're relying on a Liverpool slip-up. But a loss, and we're relying on a couple of Liverpool slip-ups, which, with about 10 games to go, is a little bit unlikely because they just pull it out the bag. Look at Forest, 9 minutes into injury time. They just find a way to pull it out the bag. So, a loss, I wouldn't necessarily count us out because I think it would be far too soon to do that. I never like to write us off, but it would be a big ask if we were to lose. Like, again, I wouldn't play for a draw. I still wouldn't play for a draw, but losing is not... It's bordering on disastrous, to be honest.
If we lose, we become third favourites for me.
I just don't know because of Arsenal. Like, they still have the Champions League football. I think they'll progress past Porto. I don't know how they'll manage the Champions League schedule with the Premier League. There's no way in hell they win both. Sorry, there's no way in hell they go the distance in both.
They're talking like it, though. Talking like they're going to cakewalk both of them and smash us and win the league and steamroll the Champions League.
That's what they do, though. That's what they do.
Apparently the Community Shield's now a big thing over beating us now. When it ended in a draw and we got beat on penalties, but never mind.
Yeah.
You've got to throw that in. Well, listen, Arsenal have been amazing. Mulby Spawn, Arsenal are playing exquisite football at the moment. You can't take that away. The goals are scoring, the chances. They're putting teams to bed early. 14 minutes on the clock and Sheffield United are going home. Yeah, it's still impressive. It is impressive, 100%. You know, Liverpool are winning with injuries. Klopp's kids. And City are on this 18 out of 20 win run. You know, unbeaten in 2024. Each team has got their own validations going into it, should have a better chest. I think it's going to be exciting for everybody else. For the three teams involved, everyone's giving it that, but deep down, they're all like, not sure. I think with us, probably we're more confident because we've been there, got it, and done the T-shirt. We've been in this position before. But, you know, like I said, I still think one team drops out of it. Don't know who that will be. Could be us, could be Arsenal. But if I was a betting man, which I'm not, I think we're winning our 4-peat. I think we'll actually win 2 trophies this year, but I don't know what the second one will be.
Just a really quick question to all of you. I saw Big Steve talking about this on TikTok, maybe. If you had the choice of one, and I know you'll all say, why not both? Because we can do both. Of course we can. If you had the choice of one, start with Joe. Back-to-back Champions League or 4-peat Premier League?
I mean, you've asked me this question before. My answer remains the same. It's the 4 in a row.
Bye. Before he gets to me.
Easy.
it's the 4 in a row. Nobody's won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. So you choose the 4 in a row. Many teams have done 2 Champions Leagues in a row. No, it's not special. Like, yeah, it's a great achievement because it'd be, you know, winning the second. But, like, nobody's ever done 4 in a row. That's something to set yourself out.
If we do 4 in a row, we're clear. In any conversation, any debate about the best Premier League side of all time, we are clear. 100%. Unique achievements is what we're looking for. We've won it all. Now we just want unique achievements that nobody else has done. Start stacking those up and we're clear.
Come on, Martin.
4 in a row. But I'll take the Champions League if we don't win the league. But we will.
As a consolation.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I want to do something like Mulvin Joe said, no other team in England's done. To have 4 in a row. It is up in that dressing room for a reason. Part of history. Imagine it. You don't just win a treble, which, by the way, still don't think people have ever sank that fully in yet. That is not. It's one of them. We're all going to be sat there watching that Netflix documentary, and that's when it'll hit.
Yeah.
It'll be like, we actually did this. But then to go and win 4 in a row in the season after winning the treble, that's some myths are made of, legends of, yeah.
It eclipses the argument of greatest Premier League team and just turns into argument of just greatest team of all time. Like, that is the bracket you get put into if you do that. I mean, I think there's an argument for it already because second treble ever. But to go and then do the 4-peat, like, there's not many arguments against being the greatest team of all time at that point.
Do we dare
ends the debate.
Did I mention what?
The T word. All right. I'm just.
I will mention the T word if we beat both Arsenal, Liverpool, and I see the draw for the next round of the Champions League. That's when I'll entertain it. I'm not saying I'll be on the train, but I'll entertain it. But look, as we've learned before, trebles, man, they're not.
You know what I'm waiting for? Like you said, we do that. We beat Newcastle, touch wood in the FA Cup, and then you get drawn at Wembley against Wolves or Coventry, and then you're like, that's a decent semi-final draw. Going into the middle of a quarter-final, semi-final, quarter-final of the Champions League. And that's when it starts again, having the treble talk. But no, it's 4 in a row for me, and can't decide between the other two. But the FA Cup, because chose the other two it's who you get drawn against. Because the good thing about Copenhagen is it the next round we get the full breakdown into the final?
Yes.
Yeah, double draw.
You get the where you're going, don't you? So it depends what side of the draw you get put on, I suppose.
You start drawing English teams too.
But like I said, you've got injuries. You've got Liverpool are back to Thursday, Sunday. Arsenal are going to get massive challenges coming up. Still, it's a lot of football to be played yet.
Long way to go. Long way to go.
That's my out, by the way.
So we all, Big Steve, just for what it's worth, said he'd rather win back-to-back Champions Leagues. But we're all interested. Yeah.
They were doing it at the end. Was it? I think it was JD Sports. Somebody were doing it.
I don't know where he was doing. I saw it though. I saw
it was outside the Etihad. They were doing it outside the Etihad.
Surprises me.
Yeah, each to their own, I suppose.
There's one behind United, though, doesn't it?
I think that was part of his thought process that you're getting very close to them for European Cups. But look, each to their own. Well, there's no reason
They've
we
not
can't.
done 4. I don't.
Don't know. He said that if we win 4 in a row, people will forget about that in a few years. It'll be forgotten about, or like it won't be something that people care about too much that deeply. But back-to-back Champions Leagues has only been done by Forest and Liverpool. Never in the Premier League era.
Either. In the old era, that was in
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in the old era. No, has it ever been done in the Champions League era?
Yeah, Real Madrid. But
no,
English
club. English club.
No. Oh God, no.
So
and it'd be right before the new format as well. Be right before the new format as well. I don't like the new format, but it like it's changing. It's the last chance to win, I guess, the Champions League as we know it.
It's a difficult one. But it's
not. It's not you. It's not.
I don't know.
It's covering both sides of it. It could be.
It's a good predicament to have, isn't it? It's a good predicament to have.
That's true.
So we can enjoy that.
Better days of Stevie Lomas.
Definitely, yeah.
When I finish 17th, I'll take it though.
Yeah. Look, listen, we're approaching the hour mark, so for Copenhagen game, myself and Jordan will do a full preview tomorrow afternoon. I think about 1:00. So we'll park that there for now. There's still 200 of you in the building. I want you all to do me a favor and hit the like button on the stream. Martin, what's coming up on the Mancunian Way this week in the build-up to the Anfield game?
Post-match Copenhagen tomorrow when I get back. So it will be a late one. I apologise. And then Thursday, we're going to do a full show on Liverpool. And then I'm just going to go into hiding for 2 days till we get the game out of the way.
Went up a mountain.
Fair enough. Guys, make sure you go to the Mancunian Way. Martin's always a great contributor here. And a great guy. So go over to the Mancunian Way and show support to him over there. Subscribe, enjoy his content. Like I always say, we always want to support each other. We're a very good fan base and bunch of content creators in that sense that there's no divisions. And then move over on the Noisy Pod. What's happening this week, brother?
Yeah, we just dropped a podcast this morning. It's the Man United victory lap, where we just banter those for a good 60 minutes. Yeah, that's our main gig, is a podcast, a weekly podcast. Me and my mate Joey do it. We're from the States. Yeah, so latest one just dropped this morning, so check it out.
Did a very good YouTube video though, Move.
Oh yeah, occasionally we do like call-in shows on YouTube.
Yes.
Depending on the time of day we do it, it's mostly an American audience, but just depends when we get going. Martin joined from
2:30 in the morning.
Sat in his car at 2:30 in the morning, joined in. So appreciate you, mate.
That's class. Guys, make sure you do go over to Noisy Pod and give a listen to the podcast. I've started listening to them when I'm on the treadmill doing my cardio. It helps pass the time.
They're really good.
Yeah, they are. They're really good. They're good.
Thank
they're
you,
good
mate.
guys. Good laugh as well. And then Joe on my personal channel, he operates on, but he makes great videos. I'm live with Joe tonight at 10:30. We're gonna do more just podcast style derby chat. We might touch in a bit on Champions League. So you catch me and Joe over on HMTV tonight at 10:30. But I suppose that's kind of it. Derby weekend is over. Copenhagen tomorrow. Champions League is back. I have to get the job done there, and then it's all systems go looking towards Anfield. Big up to all of you in the chat. Leave your comments down below if you're watching on playback. Make sure to hit a like as well. It massively helps. And like I said, always show love to all these guys. We'll see you tomorrow with some more content. Enjoy the rest of your evening, people. Good night and God bless. In a bit.